My friends, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday morning, December the 31st. It's the final day of 2025. Rise and shine, and good morning. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's doing in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. Let's go right outside and look at our live temperatures. 28 degrees in Ocala. That's not counting winds. That's just where it is. 34 in Wildwood, 30 degrees in the Villages, 35 in Leesburg, 37 degrees in Orlando, 33 in Sanford, and 36. Wow, 36 degrees in New Smyrna Beach. So it's chilly. It's chilly. It's chilly. Kara on YouTube says, whoop to a cool morning. Thankfully, the winds aren't too bad here in Umatilla. Yeah, I mean, it's been breezy, and the breeze has enough been able to make things feel a little bit cooler in some spots. For example, Orlando with the wind chill, you feel like 31. It feels like 28 in DeLand, feels like 29 in Daytona Beach, and 30 in Melbourne. Yeah, that's why this morning has been, as we call it, a severe weather warning day through 9 a.m. So we've got the next hour, then the temperatures are going to start to climb. But the overall idea is that, yes, feels like temperatures out the door have been in the 20s and the 30s. So it is a chilly start to the morning. The good news is it's beautiful, and that beautiful sunshine will allow these temperatures to climb. So here's a look at the outlook from the 30s to the 40s. Eventually, we'll work our way up to the 50s by lunchtime, 53, and then 58 degrees is going to be our high temperature on the day today. So, yeah, we've got a nice rebound. Now, that said, it's still going to be jacket weather, I think, all day today. At least that's what I'm going with for for the overall forecast is heavy coats out the door this morning for the what to wear forecast, but you're going to want long sleeves. You're going to want jackets later. Temperatures are probably going to be in the same range of where we were yesterday for daytime highs, meaning we're going to struggle to warm. But here we are. The long sleeve weather continues. So let's look at the forecast for the day ahead today, okay? High temperature 57 in Winter Garden, 58 today in Orlando, 57 in Altamont Springs. Orange City, good morning to you. It'll be 56 this afternoon, whereas 59 from Celebration Point Siena back over to Wedgefield. Wide shot showing those temperatures in about the same register area wide, right? You could be out in Ocala, you'll make it to 57, 59 degrees in Titusville, and into the lower 60s from like Merritt Island, Mims, down through Melbourne and Palm Bay. So that's basically where we're at for today. Tonight is going to be chilly. If you've got New Year's Eve plans, certainly lots of folks wanting to do the things, and we've got you covered. I actually had to drop that 9 p.m. temperature down just a little bit. Awesome. You're going to want to be bundled up for tonight, no doubt. 53, 6 o'clock for dinner time. Yeah. 46 degrees, 9 p.m. for the kids countdown, and then we'll be into the lower 40s by 11:59. So it's going to be a gorgeous, it's going to be a chilly forecast for us. So for making plans, and we were talking about this earlier on West 2 News Sunrise, I'm sure you've got your outfit picked out, but you're going to want to have the jacket able to go over top of that outfit just to keep you nice and snuggled up because it's going to be that kind of a forecast, right? But that's okay. We can deal with that. Also today, we've got the big bowl game, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl over at Camping World Stadium, and I would just advertise, and I always say, even if it's cold out, the UV rays still are blasting us, which means you're still going to need sunscreen. I know it sounds so counterintuitive, but here we are. You're still going to need the sunscreen. So, probably, I feel like I'm probably going to be reminding somebody of that. You were like, oh, I was just going to go to the game and I wasn't even going to think about it. Yeah. So, no. Carolyn's asking, could we see snow flurries? Oh, Carolyn, you need moisture for that. And then I'm super happy to say what we don't see on the map at all, on our first morning live radar at all, is any moisture. So, no, we cannot see snow flurries. I would even dive deeper and say we would need a cloud in the sky And just taking a look at our tower cam network this morning, no, no cloud in the sky. Jan says, my outfit will be the one I have on now, PJs. Yep. I fully intend on sleeping myself. So, yeah, you'll be in good company, right? I definitely will back you up there. This morning, it was chilly area wide. And as a matter of fact, I need to update this graphic real fast. Hit that there, hit that there, hit that there. Okay, perfect. All right. So this morning, and I believe that this is up to date now. This morning, we talk about the coldest air of the season. There were several areas that got there. Ocala tied the coldest of the season at 28 degrees. Sanford broke the coldest. Yeah, you're at 34 now, so you've started to climb. Daytona Beach tied the coldest of the season. Melbourne broke the coldest of the season. So this morning was cold. And I always like showing this one just because I think that it's so interesting. Coldest of the season for Orlando, 36 back on November 11th. This morning, 37. The last freeze, though, in Orlando was Christmas of 2022. So it's been years. And I'm not saying that we've got a freeze in the forecast because that's not the case at all. But just saying, we haven't had a freeze in Orlando in several years. Now, looking at the forecast here, the good news, if you're not a fan of the chill, is that we are rapidly changing things up. While, yes, our chilly stretch continues today and continues tomorrow, looking ahead to our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those temperatures start to climb. We do have a few showers in the forecast. Um, and it looks like at the moment we're going to be with a couple of showers kind of overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, but we're going to keep with the 70s. And I would go venture further to say that the pattern continues. As a matter of fact, the American GFS model, I'll show you, showing temperature. And I did this on my little reel, so maybe you've already seen this. The American GFS model showing temperatures continuing to climb little bit by little bit through about mid January. The GFS is saying about the 12th, that's when our next cold front should move into the area. And then, of course, drop the temperatures off. Whereas the European model is not as gung ho with that next one. It's just basically keeping those temperatures climbing through about the 12th and 13th. Now, obviously, that's way out. There's a lot of data that we're going to be able to go over and track in the next few weeks. But I always like to look, look pretty long range to kind of see where we're at. And to that point, too, I want to mention that I think we've got the cycle duration dialed down. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday or not, but I think we've got the cycle duration dialed down, and it's looking like the longest cycle duration I have ever seen in my time tracking. So it is what it is. Tim says going for blood work today using that last day of out of pocket max for healthcare being met. Oh, yeah, man. I really kind of wish I did the same thing in retrospect, actually. Yeah. Oh, who else is doing that? That's a good point, though. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. Um, Dialing in the long range stuff, we're in the 70, 71, 72, 73, like 71 to 74 days is what we're looking at right now. Um, oh, Matt's asking if we can guess the cycle duration. I just told you, yeah. Which means though, which means if we go back to, let's see here, if we go back to this graphic, okay, so if we go back to this, 70-ish days from November 11th. Let me just type that in. Because I'm not good at math. I'm going to ask the Google. 70 days after November 11th is January 20th. So based on that, January 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th or so should be significant chill toward the end of January. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Chris says you did mention the cycle days yesterday, but you said 70 days. It's in the 71 to 74. It's kind of, 70, 71, 72, somewhere in that range is kind of what we're looking at right now. So, yeah, Nikki says, looking forward to your long range hurricane forecast. I'll be put down a deposit for a future cruise on our one a couple weeks ago. So I need to figure out when to book it. There you go. What's funny is I need to really work on my long range forecasting. I got a good start, and I'm trying to leverage some AI as well. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to work on some AI. All right, sorry. Let's see here. How is it that many days? Hold on, I'm just reading a comment. Yukon, how is it that many days if it was cold November 11th and now? Well, what would November 11th's recycle be? Or what would this morning's so if we go back this morning, so see, this is where you could get into the feistiness. So hold on, let me just Google this. Stand by. So what is it? It was November 11th. Okay, so it would be 70 days before. Come on, this mouse is 70 days before today would be October 22nd. So let me look at the climate data, and it would be October 22nd. So I'm just curious if we had a cold snap October 22nd. Oh, come on. October 22nd. Yeah, see, it was not. Uh, well, you know what? Okay, let me show you. I don't have it dialed up on the computer to like physically show you there, but I can at least show you here. So October 22nd, if you look at the morning lows from 69 to 64 to 61. So that was actually the first time that we got into the lower 60s was around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So that actually fits. Isn't that interesting? Now that's just the very most very basic of checking. But you saw there was a temperature dip right in that window. So that fits. As crazy as it sounds, it fits. And I did not I want you to know I did not plan that. I did not plan to show that to you, but yeah. Yukon says, okay, so in the 7 day cycle, this could be a bump in it. Yes, there's going to be several, that's just the way that's going to work, right? But I didn't plan on finding that. I mean, I assumed I would find that, but it's not like I planned that. So I think that's kind of interesting. Um, Nerddom at its finest, I suppose. Tim says Weatherman is proud of himself because of the theory. I know. Listen, I mean, you got to take the wins when you can get it. All right, let me get my next TV hit set up just so that we're here. But yes, and Tim, it's meteorologist, not weatherman, sir. You should know better. All right, hold on. I gotta get. This computer crashed on me like completely this morning. I've been literally on the struggle bus with it all morning long. All right, we'll do that. We'll put you there. No, put you there. Click, put you. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Kara, I need this explained in more detail. How often does the weather recycle? All right, so the idea for the so I do a long range forecast, and the idea for the long range forecast is what goes around comes around. And essentially, the weather takes a new pattern around October 10th, around the sunset in the Arctic Circle. And the idea with that is that let's do this. I don't need you. Put you up here, put that there. Okay. The idea here is that you look for storm systems where they're not, that sort of thing. And then it gives you the ability to look at trends and you can then forecast kind of long range. And so it's a reoccurring cycle is the theory for this. So that's I've done it for several years, had some great success. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. Thank you. And then where am I here? Oh, at the key. Okay. Terry says Tony had problems in the evening with computer freezing up. We use different computers though, so if his computer is freezing up, theoretically it's a different computer. So anyway, yeah. So the long range forecasting stuff is to me fascinating. I think it's just remarkable, but it is what it is. It's not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. Carol, oh, I know I am. I couldn't get up. Yeah, Debbie, chroma key. Turns out I'm at the chroma key. Yeah, which this is the chroma keyer. You could have a luminance keyer. And anyway, that's getting into the nerddom. Who moved the keyboard for us this morning? Tim's asking. Leanne, so kind. So kind. We got Meredith on the desk and we got Christina on the desk. Look at them over there. Look at them over there. They're saying Happy New Year's Eve. You just can't hear them because I've got my microphone on under the tie. All right, I'm going to do a weather hit and then we can continue on and just kind of look. What I'm curious about, okay, I would like to look at the BSR and look long range to see if that 20th, 21st, 22nd of January cold snap shows up on the BSR. I'm curious about that. So, all right, stand by. Let me just put this down and get this all set up. Stand by. It's true. You could be at the beach and freezing your tuchus off, right? It's 43 Patrick Space Force Base, 43 Port Canaveral, but you head inland a little bit and we find those temperatures dropping off a little bit. 38 Port St. John, 38 in Mims, 36 to wake up in Palm Bay, waking up to 33 degrees in DeLand, 33 Samsula. It's 34 at the Spruce Creek Fly-In, about 37 degrees in New Smyrna Beach. But look here into Flagler County. We find 36 at Hammock Beach. You head inland just a little bit, and we're around freezing at the Flagler County Airport, 32 in Bunnell, and Espanola waking up into the 20s. So, 20s for some. Ocala, you have now climbed out of the 20s. You're sitting at 30. Still below freezing, though. It's still below freezing in the villages, 35 in Leesburg and 39 in Orlando. And outside right now, it's not just the chill. I mean, it's a clear sky, but you see that breeze. I mean, Old Glory's looking gorgeous. This one, even more of a kind of churned up flag. It's beautiful outside, but it is cold. Thus far this season, Orlando's coldest of the season was November 11th. We hit 36. This morning, Orlando made it down to 37. I do want to point out what's kind of interesting. We have not had a freeze in Orlando since December 25th of 2022. Yeah. The wind chill, though, makes it feel like freezing. It feels like 31 in Orlando, feels like 29 in DeLand and Sanford, 29 in New Smyrna Beach, and about 30 in Melbourne. And that's why we have the cold weather advisories for the Metro South, northern areas in purple, under freeze warnings. Through the day today, though, that sun is going to do its thing. It's going to be gorgeous, gorgeous. Light breeze out of the west, northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. About 59 degrees, our high temperature Walt Disney World. 58 today in Orlando. 57 Altamont Springs. 57 in DeBary. 56 in Orange City. And about the same idea across the rest of town. The only spots getting into the 60s will be here in central and southern Brevard County. Then for planning purposes tonight, it's going to be another chilly one. Dinner time, 53. Kids counting down to the new year at 9 p.m., 46. And at 11:59, it's 42 degrees. It's going to be a cold one. Now, looking ahead, the gusts and the wind chills are where we're at this morning. Tonight, not as cold, which means we're probably going to have to watch for some frost. But notice the next couple of days, we get into the mid-60s for tomorrow afternoon. We hit 70 on Friday and the mid-70s looking ahead to the weekend. Okay. Let me get caught up with the comments here. Is chroma key our new Campeche? Jeannie Rowan's asking, because I need the strong bean juice. Yeah, get some coffee, Jeannie. Well, listen, whatever you got to do. I mean, during hurricane season, we can use Campeche, but outside of hurricane season, you're not going to be able to use that one. It just is not going to work. Let's see here. Still no yellow couch. The yellow couch is over there. It's just in a different spot. Glenn, you like that? see here. I love this cold, Stacy says, but Ocala is a little too cold. Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. Rose says, yes, you saw a late January cold spell in the BSR a week to 2 weeks ago. Okay, I don't have a memory. You know, you got to remember, I'm not what they call a smart man. I try. I don't have a memory. All right, let me get set up for today's show. Cut in here, and then we'll still go look at the BSR afterward. All right, we'll use that same tower cam because we showed it on TW18. We didn't show it on WESH. Tim says one of the libraries is doing New Year's Eve for the kids at lunchtime. We've got a lot of those things too. It's wonderful. I love it. Pat says, aloha, visiting the Facebook group from the YouTube family. Hello, Pat. Welcome to the Facebook family. Oh, man. The mic is so much better now. Okay, so we like the mic. We like the little microphone I've got under the tie here. We like this. It sounds good. Oh, man. The yellow couch. Oh yeah, no, the yellow. I'll show you when I walk back over that direction. The yellow couch is still around. Debbie got to run. Have an open. You've got open Christmas, but go do the Christmas thing. Too bad you can't go 70 days forward on the BSR. I know, but that's okay. That's okay. JM on Facebook says this is very interesting to watch behind the scenes. Thank you. Well, no, I appreciate you hanging. It's only out of necessity. I'm not like, hey, come check me out. It's rather we're doing the work together, so we kind of have to do the shift together. I'm just glad that you guys weren't with me at 6 because I felt like every 10 seconds I was standing here, I was doing this, I was going over there, I was doing over this. So anyway, Oliver says much better with the mic. See, we work together, we make the things happen. Let me pull up the rundown and see. This is the 8 a.m. rundown. We're still going to do the BSR. I'm not done with you yet. I just have to do some housekeeping stuff. This is where it gets busy. Okay. Weather update. All right, so I'll be at the chroma key for this one. Okay. All right, very good. Are you Monday through Friday now? So January, Cam has a ton of time off for January. So no, not until Feb. Once we hit February, I will be able to be Monday through Friday. I'm off this weekend, but I'm working every weekend otherwise for the month. Yeah. Terry says, yeah, the temp's rising. We're up to 30 now. Let's check here. Standby one. Where are we at? All right, here's a live look at there. So just a couple of minutes ago, we were at 28 in Ocala. You're now at 30 degrees. So there's obviously a difference in just a couple of minutes, right? And these temperatures are just going to keep going. Now, the one big difference you're going to notice today versus yesterday, we've got that sun. Yesterday, those clouds, those really high ice crystal clouds, those were blocking it. That was limiting the heating. So today, we're going to be able to warm up. It's going to be gorgeous. And I'm laughing at whoever said that I graduated magna cum laude because I did not. I graduated. I was happy to graduate. That's all. Just code an AI cam or AI Eric for weekend weather. You got so I can't speak to other companies and what they're doing, but I can tell you that this company does not have a desire to do AI replacement for people. Why? Because like it or not, like you probably could talk to AI me, and it would probably be far smarter. However, it would be less accurate in the model that, like, I don't know. I still feel like we are in the business as humans. I don't mean in television. I don't mean in Facebook, but I feel like you and we are in the business as human beings of making relationships, whether it be TV, whether it be teachers, whatever world we live in. Um, we as a species, I think, crave human interaction, right? So to me, sure. Say that again. Okay, leaving Meredith 30 to do traffic, Roger. I just feel like as long as humans exist, we're gonna want that human interaction. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. All right, let me do this cut in standby. All right, Meredith, it is chilly outside, and we look here in Brevard County, we see the American flag in the breeze, so it's also a breeze factoring in. We're in the upper 30s here. Melbourne, 38 degrees, 39 Orlando, sitting in the upper 20s to lower 30s from Ocala through the rest of Marion County. Today, up to 58. It's going to stay nice and cool all day long. Okay. That's the Today Show hit. I have to do the quick hit at the top of CW's half hour, and then we can look long range. But don't go anywhere. I want to do long range. Here, yeah, Yukon, she's had it. Hold on one second. Mayor, feel like you're losing this battle here. Like, I don't know what we got to do. I'll be at Weather Center. You know how we say sink or swim? Meredith's sinking right now. You're fighting it. She's fighting it. She's sinking. All right, stand by, people. Where are we at? Top. Oh my God, with this mouse. Top D block. 9A. That's that. We don't need you anymore. 30, 20. Okay. Need to find a tower cam. Should we do New Smyrna? Yeah, we should do New Smyrna. Okay. Let's go for a walk. Let's do this TV hit, and then we can do some long range stuff. Oh, it's not straining. This is. Stand by.
Right after sunrise, are you turning on the heat for the first time? That burning smell could be a warning. We'll tell you what to look out for to avoid.
Yukon says AIB won't need an ENT.
That's funny. Could be coming in DUI cases statewide. Why breath test results can still count even outside an officer's jurisdiction. Plus, from Lake Mary to the Olympics, a native with no snow, no bobsled team is chasing gold at the Winter Olympics. Good morning. Taking a beautiful view here of the city of Ocala and gorgeous sunshine there, but we are cold temperatures this morning to start things off. Thanks for joining us on this New Year's Eve. I'm Meredith McDonough. And I'm Christina Watkins. We're here with first warning meteorologist Eric Burris to round out 2020.
What?
Easy, right? No, this is wild. What else is wild?
Oh man. We got down to 28 degrees in Ocala this morning. Now the sun is up, so at the very least, we're going to be able to start bringing those temperatures up. Take a look at where we'll head today. 9 a.m. readings climb back into the lower 40s. It's 53 degrees at lunchtime and 58 degrees our 3 o'clock high temperature. But for right now, here's a live look in. Ocala, you have just climbed out of the 20s. You are now at 30 degrees. It's 32 in the Villages, 37 in Leesburg, 39 for us in Orlando, mid 30s from Daytona Beach to the upper 30s into Brevard. But you factor in the winds and it feels like the 20s to 30s outside. So you absolutely want to have your jackets on. And you know what? You can bask in this sunshine. This is a live look outside New Smyrna Beach. Oh, it is gorgeous. There are a few people, and I mean a few, not many, but a few people out there walking the shoreline. It'd be a great day to do it. Temperatures today climbing into the upper 50s, lower 60s, but tonight is another cold night, and it's a big one because it's a holiday. So a lot of people are going to be braving the cold temperatures tonight. We'll talk more about those temperatures in just a couple of minutes' time. But now, let's discuss those temperatures and a long-standing tradition in Orlando that has been the orange ball drop. Just like last year, it has moved, and it is in Thornton Park. And that's where WESH 2's Spencer Tracy joins us. And Spencer, it's going to be a chilly one tonight. I'm glad, Nat, that I remembered you saying it was going to be a look live, so I didn't toss to her live. Okay. Let's see where we at here. Bananas aren't going to make it. Star fruit will be fine. What are we talking about? We talking about baseball? You're talking about actual fruit here. All right. Get over here. All right. So we want to do some long range. So what did we say? It was like was it the 20th of January? That's when it was going to be the recycle of the real chill. Curious to see how that works. All right. Let's see here. Terry Ann says maybe with freezing temps we won't have so many fireworks. I so highly doubt that. All right, give me a minute here. Got to turn that on. Got to turn that on. Got to turn that. Chris says, stop you, bring you down. I used to wonder why the meteorologist would disappear for a while giving the weather report. Now I know they were just walking from the desk to the green screen. Could be from the desk to the green screen. There's many different reasons, or it could be that I have to just take the odd way around so that I can put the laptop down because I'm hanging with you good people. Could be that. Could be that. All right, here's a look at the BSR. Let's look at this together. Now, if you're unfamiliar, this is a teleconnection. This is a cheat code of sorts in the weather world. Lets me look and kind of see different weather patterns way out in the future. All right, so we've got a little Gulf feature here, little storm system in the Gulf. What is that? That's January 9th, 10th, 11th. Storm system out in the Gulf. And then it looks like it's wanting to come to Florida. 12th, 13th, 14th. I think we had talked about that yesterday, so that's pretty much unchanged. Colder air moving in there. That looks like a decent storm system over Texas. That's 17th, 18th, 19th. Okay. And we go even further beyond using the GFS. There's a good cold front right there. That's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Yep. And then there's going to be a key right there. That area of low pressure off the East Coast. That's going to be a key. If the cold front in early November timed out with something east of us, there's an indicator there. That looks like a pretty strong front there. That's the 29th, 30th, 31st of January. And a little storm system working through the Gulf. Looks like a cold stretch, very end of January. And that's an interesting little pattern there. That's cool. And then there's like another storm system into the panhandle. February 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Interesting. We'll have to see how that one plays out. Could that be severe? Could that be winter? Too early to tell. I mean, you don't get into the specificity of things using this. Instead, it's a teleconnection. It just looks way ahead and kind of gives us an idea. But now that we have the cycle duration kind of dialed in just a little bit, we can at least start theorizing about different things. So, yeah, there it is. Matt. So let's talk about April 14th through the 19th, please. You know what that is. Is that sun and fun, my friend? Is it? Hey, Ocala looks like just got to 32 degrees. Back above freezing for the first time in hours. So there you go. All right. Questions, comments, concerns about our forecast? How we doing? Priscilla's asking about the 540 line. Listen, when we look at just regular computer model data, we're not looking at any kind of a massive thrust of cold temperatures at all. We've got some storm systems coming through here. but nothing in the short term that looks like big 540 line drops over us. So no, we're not looking at freezing temperatures anytime soon. All right. Jennifer says always wishing for snow. That's fine as long as you know you're not always going to get it. Right? Right? All right. Do we have any other questions, comments, concerns that I want to deal with? Anything? We good? Are you good? I'm good. Yukon says the subpatterns of patterns and how the subpatterns affect the patterns. It might be an interesting thesis. I have no interest in writing a thesis. It's just where I'm at. Chris says giant calendar updated. I appreciate you and your giant calendars. Oh, I need to remove the warning day off the 7-day forecast. Let's do that together. Stand by. Stand by. Let's remove it together. Gotta type 0 and 0. Hit the save button and it will disappear. Bye, warning day. All right, you good? We good? All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful last day of 2025. Hope we have a wonderful 2026 together. Thank you for hanging with me. I'll be with you in the mornings, Monday through Friday, eventually. In the meantime, thank you.